So we have a couple friends online. Thank you, onliners. And so sometimes I'll be looking down here and talking down here, and then if it's okay with you guys, can I just pan the camera around? I'm going to pan it. They're going to see you now. So this is... All right. Thank you for coming to this. Today, 90 minutes, we'll do a little bit of the work from the workshop itself, and then part of that work is actually learning to relax and using some of the work that we do from these teachings in the relaxation. How the heck is that going to happen? Some of you who've taken the workshop before probably know, like my friend Sherry over there and Jason have taken this thing once already and 3 times already, and starting next week, half of the 12 of us who are currently signed up, six of us have taken it before. And myself, I've done the workshop about 4 or 5 times myself. So it's something that you could do every year or every other year whenever you think something needs to be shifted or adjusted in life. And I'll explain all about it. So during the 90 minutes, I'll talk a little, give you a little history on it and what it is, and then we'll do probably 2 of the actual exercises, like miniature versions of them. And then we'll do a relaxation where I'll play some bowls and we'll lie down. And this is the whole reason why Jeffon showed up. He's probably going to leave until that happens and he's going to come back. But it'll be a yoga nidra, so a guided relaxation where we lay down. And Rhonda, I hope you can lie down. And Susie, you too, if you have a place to lie down at home. If you do go on the bed, it's usually so soft you'll fall asleep. But you could go on the bed. It's usually best on something relatively firm, like a yoga mat on the ground. So we lie down, I guide you through a process. There are 150, 200 or more techniques relating to yoga nidra, which means yogic sleep. And we'll explore several of them through the workshop, and one of them today. One of the coolest parts about yoga nidra is that you can, I really hesitate using the word self-hypnotize, but it kind of is that. It kind of, yeah, Sherry is nodding. It's getting yourself to a state of such calmness where your monkey mind is no longer playing tricks on your real mind. The outside world gets into perspective. Your eyes are closed, you're hovering between sleep and awake, you're in this really elevated state where the monkey, the ego, the wants, the needs, the active mind that is attracted towards things and repulsed by things is not active in that state. Something else is active behind the scenes, which we could activate more often if we knew how, if we practiced, our higher self, you can say, our higher consciousness. That's the spot that we intend to get to in yoga nidra. Of course, that's the place where you intend to get to when you meditate also, but let's be honest, sitting and meditating and really doing it, like transcending your awareness, that's hard for most human beings. You can get to that state. It's referred to as several things, turiya, the 4th state, samadhi in yoga. You can get to that state, but it's hard. Usually you're going to be thinking about things and not really transcending to that highly elevated state. But in yoga nidra, it's more accessible. It's almost like a hack, like a meditation cheat code. Lay down, have a voice guide you through relaxation, and then when you're in that state, plant a seed of something you want to grow. It's like a simple concept, and it's amazing. And the seed that we're going to plant is something called a sankalpa. A sankalpa is something that attaches you or connects you to your soul. Sankalpa is something that you repeat to yourself in that state of relaxation, and it gets you in touch with your soul's intention and purpose. We create the sankalpa. We do our best to understand what is most appropriate to make change around, or what our soul might want for us, or what, even if you don't believe in soul, it's what is best for your life right now, the next month, next 6 months. And you plant that in that state of heightened awareness, and then it tends to come true easier. That's one tiny aspect of this workshop and what we'll do today. The bowls help also. The bowls are something that I've started to incorporate in lots of yoga nidras because this is something actually more physical that you can feel. Like when you lay down and have a sound bath, many of you know this already, you feel the vibrations and it like tunes you up like a tuning fork. For those of you online, I can show you, got some bowls here. I think you guys know what those are already. Susie, I don't know if I've given you a sound bath, but I know Rhonda has had sound baths before. Sound showers, sound bath, bathing, and sound, it's all the same. All right, let's give a little bit of context here. Clarity workshop. I promise I won't talk too long, because I do want us to do 2 exercises. The clarity workshop is what I'm calling the workshop that is based on this book called The 4 Desires. Rod Stryker. The Four Desires by Rod Stryker. Not to be confused with the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Don Miguel Ruiz is an amazing author, and I've studied his book, and then he realized after he wrote the Four Agreements, he missed one. So he wrote another book called The Fifth Agreement. Rod Stryker hasn't done that yet, but who knows, maybe there's a fifth desire that's going to come out at some point. But this teaching is not something that Rod Stryker made up at all. Many other teachers, philosophy teachers, yoga leaders, spiritual leaders have taught this concept before, and it comes from the ancient scriptures in India, and the actual thing in India, or in Sanskrit, is called Purushartha, which refers to the desires of the soul. Purushartha means the desires of the soul, and that comes from the ancient Vedic scriptures, the Upanishads. It's mentioned in several places in the ancient scriptures. What the teaching tells us is that whenever we manifest into a physical body, which we have physical bodies, first of all, it upholds the concept that the soul is eternal. Your soul, your true self, is eternal, and it lives in the world through different bodies for different experiences. We have 70, 80, 100 years of experience in this body, and then we take a long rest, and then we're going to take another journey down into the physical with a different meat suit for another set of experiences. Maybe it'll be a feminine one next time for me. Maybe it'll be a different kind of masculine one. Maybe it'll be a different skin color so I can get different experiences. Maybe not. Maybe I need more in this one. I don't know. Every time we do it, though, this teaching tells us that there are 4 areas of fulfillment that we could choose to focus on to live a fulfilled life. We don't have to, of course, but if we want to try to eliminate some suffering and maximize our effectiveness in this life, there are 4 areas or categories of what we're calling desires of the soul, intentions of the soul to fulfill. And usually one or more is more lacking than the others. That's kind of logical. It stands to reason that you're not going to be probably full blast on all 4, running on all cylinders all the time, unless maybe we're close to enlightenment or, I don't know, someone who's perfect. Is there anyone like that? I don't know. Maybe there's not anyone perfect. So we can all probably work on one or more of these desires. The subtitle gives us the clue of what these desires are. The subtitle of the book says, Creating a Life of Purpose, Happiness, Prosperity, and Freedom. Those are very vague, though, but those are the 4 that we're talking about here. Purpose we can refer to as dharma, your overall grand purpose in this body, on earth, in this time, in this life. Happiness, that's so vague, and it's almost, happiness, sure. The purpose of life, what is it? Happiness, wah, wah, wah. That's a very easy word just to write there on the subtitle of the book, just to get it out in the public. But what the Sanskrit word is, it's more juicy. It's kama, K-A-M-A. Does anyone know what that means before you guys can't answer, though. You know what it is, right? Karma it means action, yes. But there's a different word, kama, and I know you all have heard it in a different context, though. You know the context I'm talking about? Exactly, the Kama Sutra. We've all heard that, right? What comes to mind? Be honest, just say it. What comes to mind when you think of Kama Sutra? Tantra. Okay, Tantra, or sexy stuff. If you haven't heard of the Kama Sutra, it's okay. But the reason why Susie says sex, yeah, it's true. Oh, I better open this chat. I'm sorry. I better open this. Oh, gosh. You hear me? Okay, I just missed sex. That's it. That's all I missed. Everything else I got. I didn't miss it for long either. A few seconds. The reason that we might only have heard of the word kama in that context is because people are like, oh, what's that? That's something attractive. But it also refers to anything pleasurable which we in this body, we need. We're not supposed to work all of our lives. We're not supposed to keep our nose to the grindstone all day, all week, all month, all year, and never have any fun. That's not how it's supposed to be. We sometimes do that because we feel a sense of lack, or we think we don't have enough money, or this or that. We don't feel good enough. We work all the time. But we have to admit, and we should honor the aspect of our soul called kama that needs to have fun sometimes, needs to be spontaneous, needs to have some, I don't know, just silly joy. And it can also be something very simple like staring at Lee Canyon, like Jeffon said earlier, and he probably feels something in his heart when he looks up there. If you go to his social, everything is a picture of him up there on the mountain. Like almost every single picture is you up there because he loves it. That's kama. He's doing a good job with his I'm going to guess that his desire that he needs to fulfill is probably not comma. Maybe it is, I don't know, but some of us do that and honor that. It's important to enjoy. Put your feet in grass sometimes. Hug a tree, literally, sometimes. That's all comma. It's not just tantric sex. That's part of it, but not all of it. And then prosperity, that's another just salesy type of catchword that he used for the cover of his book. But that desire refers to Artha, A-R-T-H-A, and that is, if anyone knows the Maslow's hierarchy of needs triangle, the very basic level of human needs is shelter, food, transportation, money. That's what that means. He's using the word prosperity, but really Artha refers to the basic things that we need to do life. We need clothing, we need a home, we need tools. Like my tools would be, like this is part of my Artha. This room is part of my Artha to do my job. The camera, I had to get here, so transportation. I have to know the teachings that I want to share with you. So that's an aspect that the soul needs us to fulfill also. And then the last one on the list, freedom, another catchword that you've probably heard before in Sanskrit, moksha. And that does translate roughly to freedom, but freedom from what? And what that refers to is connection to something greater than ourselves. And I'm going to say, most of the yoga things that I teach, I shouldn't say most, a good deal of the yoga things that I teach, you don't really need to believe in anything spiritual. You kind of do for this. And I might offer an apology because I didn't preface that you have to be a spiritual person, or at least be open to it to come. You don't have to be, but this does require some sense that there is more than just your physical body and your brain. And it's perfectly fine if you have a belief that there's nothing beyond your brain, there's nothing after death at all. But these teachings do uphold that concept that there's so much more besides just our physical body. So that is there. Freedom, moksha, refers to spiritual connection. If you're a religious person, it refers to that aspect of your life. It could mean meditation. It could mean connection to your own soul. When people started taking off their shirts and blankets, I turned the air on, but now you're putting everything back on. So it's too cold. So it was off and it was getting warm, but then now it's too cold. Can't ever please you guys. I'll turn it back off. It was off, but then I saw this. We were taking things off. By the way, if this thing is wrong, it's wrong, but it says 77. I don't know. 77 degrees is what it is right now. It's cold. No? I'm going to tell Adam, Kat says your equipment sucks. He's like, it's brand new. It shouldn't suck. Okay, so those are the 4 desires. And the techniques to fulfill them are really cool. Now, I'm going to say again, this guy didn't make this stuff up. He did synthesize it into a teaching, and he wrote this book with a lot of help. He had a huge number of students and advisors to assist and help, and they did a lot of it, and I know a lot of them. I've been involved with him and his organization since 2014. So we don't want to think that this stuff came from him. He did put it together, and he was the driving force behind it, but the stuff is ancient, and he gleaned a lot of the actual techniques from other areas. There are other areas of personal development that he pulled some ideas from to help us arrive at the goals here. Okay. You know what I did? I apologize for getting up so many times, but I need to grab one more thing that I left in this room over here. So the thing that I'm going to grab is my course sequence. So when I devised the sequence of events for the workshop, I took all the exercises in the book and I broke them down into the 4 different sessions that we're going to have together. And each session, of course, is going to build on the last. So now let me say that you don't have to attend all 4 sessions in person or online, but you do need to do the work before the next session because we're recording them and you're able to. So it would stand to reason that many of us who sign up for the 4-part workshop won't be able to attend all 4, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I'm recording with audio and video, and you can just watch it later, do the work. It might be harder to do it on your own without the help of us and me here, but you can, and then the next session, you'll just progress with us when you come back. And there are about 35 different exercises to do. Some are as simple as sitting still, closing your eyes, and feeling something and writing down what you feel. Some are as simple as that. And then some are extremely complicated, like imagining that you're dead and attending your own memorial and listening to what people say about you. It's a big one. That one is the hardest one we do. And it's the most sometimes gut-wrenching one. And it's the most revealing. Hands down, no questions asked, the most revealing. Imagining that you're dead and you cannot do anything else in this life, and just witnessing your celebration of life and your loved ones honoring you and writing what they would say, honestly. So, in between the simple thing of just sitting and feeling, all the way to the Vikalpa exercise where you're dead and you're watching your memorial, there are other things in between that, one of which is the Sankalpa exercise, which I already discussed, I briefly discussed it, how we find one goal that will seed our subconscious with in the Yoga Nidras. Finding that is another exercise. And then there are two more big ones. So I like to call them 4 different major touch points in this workshop. The Vikalpa, which is the big daddy of finding out what the big obstacle is that we might have run up against in life, either knowing it or not knowing it, that's prevented us from doing anything or doing something big. That's the exercise of writing your memorial. That's one. The Sankalpa exercise is the other one of the 4. And then we have another big one called the Dharma Code. The Dharma Code is a mission statement of your life's purpose. And I think that might be the best part of this workshop, is coming out of the 4 sessions with a written statement, 4 sentences long, that you feel strongly is what your soul would give you as marching orders. If your infant self could listen and understand words or concepts, as soon as you get born, you come out screaming, your soul's like, all right, little Jason, these are your instructions for this life. Okay, do you understand? Do you solemnly swear to follow these instructions? And you're like, all right, sir, yeah, I can do that. The doctor hits you on the butt, and then you go do life, and these are your instructions. And then when you're, 9 years old, and someone at school makes fun of you and you feel bad, you could look at your instructions. Oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do, and when things get tough, oh yeah, I remember these things. Okay, I can do that. It's not realistic, of course, but that's kind of the concept. When you become 17 and you have your heart broken for your first time, or 14, oh yeah, I've got an operations manual. What happens when my feelings get hurt? Oh yeah, do this and this. My soul told me about this. Okay, I do these things and now I can move forward again. How cool is that? When you become 35 or 40 and then you get fired from a job, or you have a decision, maybe you have 2 great job opportunities. Which one do I take? Let me look at my Dharma Code. I remember my soul knows the answers to these things. Oh, okay, that's what I needed to know. Now I can make the decision. It's that cool. I'm telling you, it's that cool. The Dharma Code. So it's like a mission statement of your soul. Okay. Vikalpa, Sankalpa, Dharma Code, and the last big daddy of the 30 exercises is something called the departure point exercise. And today, if I would ever shut up, we'll get to do the departure point today, a sample of that, and the Sankalpa. But I have to shut up soon, so we can do it. Let me see if there's anything else I need to say about the whole thing. And please ask questions too. Because the goal of today, I wanted to give you a real experience, but I also want you to come to the actual workshop. I'm going to be very honest. I want you to sign up for this and take it, starting next Saturday. It's 4 sessions long, and it'll be the 7th time I'm doing it. And people come back for a reason. Okay. What else should I say about this? The first time I did it was 2014. The last time I did it was about 8 months ago. And I did it with him. He has some senior teachers that are teaching it, but I've never done it with anyone else but him, and it's only online since he lives in Idaho now. And so I did it. I redid my Dharma Code a little bit. If you get your Dharma Code really good the first time, you won't change it very much if you take the workshop again. You might tweak it a little bit, but the Sankalpa will change every time, because the Sankalpa is a tangible thing that you can measure and achieve in 6 months, 8 months-ish. So that has to change, or else if you didn't achieve it, then it would be theoretical that you could have the same Sankalpa again.
Sorry, what is a Sankalpa?
It's the thing that connects you to your soul. So in practical terms, it's a goal that you can achieve in 6 to 8 months, and it's what we'll seed our subconscious with in Yoga Nidra. So when we lay down today, and I guide you through relaxation, when we get to that state of calmness, recite that. It'll be a statement of something that you're going to achieve. Can I answer any questions? What questions can I answer?
I'm curious about why, like, a house is not in one of the four desires.
It is.
Everyone wants to be healthy, right?
A home? A house?
Health.
Oh, health. Health and home, sorry. They're in the same one. And of course, I didn't mention every single thing on earth that falls under each of the four categories, but let me ask you, health, I'm sure you're speaking about your physical body. Okay. Which category of desire would you think health falls under? So purpose, dharma would be one. Kama, which is happiness and pleasure and joy, is one. Artha, which is the basic needs that you need to have in order to do anything in life. And then moksha, or freedom, is the last one. Which of those four do you think health would fall under?
So, like, the basic needs?
Yes, 1,000%. Health is under the artha category. And that's a very common one. If I had to choose one of the four that I think most is more common than others, not by a large degree, but if one was chosen as lacking more than the others, it's artha. Money, health, home, relationship, those kinds of things. But that's not always the case for everybody, clearly. So why don't we do the first exercise? So I hope you did bring something to write with. Thanks, Susie. Yes, you're right. I got to remember to look down at the chat. Susie, you can call it out with your voice too, because it'll get my attention more. Okay, before we write with our utensil though, let's do a short meditation to get our mind in the groove of this, into the mindset. Please find a comfortable seat. You don't have to look like cross-legged yogis. You can do anything with your legs, but sit with a tall spine for a moment and drop in to a different state of consciousness for a moment before we start writing things. You can sit on anything you want. I like sitting on a block, but you can sit however you want as long as you're comfortable with a tall spine. All right, find that and just take a moment here, close your eyes and start to breathe. Tall spine, relax your shoulders. Let's take an inhale through our nose. Breathe in really big through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Close the eyes if they're not closed. Continue slow, deep breathing for a moment. Allow your attention, instead of to be focused outwards into the yoga room, into the outside world, outside of the studio, outside of your house, focus on your internal. Like maybe it's just your breath in your throat for a moment. Feel the breath moving in your nostrils, down your windpipe. And then when you exhale, feel the air moving the opposite direction. Do some breath with intention. When you inhale, feel that there's a sound going on in your throat. And when you exhale, same thing. Feel that ujjayi sound in your throat. With your eyes closed, I'd like you to do two things with your hands. With your left hand, with one or two fingers, just touch where your heart is. With your left hand, one or two or three fingers, gently touch where your heart is. With your left hand. And then with your right hand, reach it to the very top of your head, and with one or two or three fingers, touch the top of your head. So you've got one hand touching your heart and one hand touching the top of your head. Now with your mind, with your awareness, let's move our attention from your heart to your head when you inhale. And when you exhale, just simply move your attention back down to your heart. It's very simple. You can do it at your own pace, but use the breath to do it. When you breathe in, go up to the top of your head. And when you breathe out, take your mind and awareness down to your heart. Keep going like this for about a minute. Now, we're connecting with intention the consciousness in our head with the consciousness in our heart. Wherever there's a chakra, wherever there's a concentration of energy, you have awareness there. You have aliveness, like a mind. Each chakra is a mind. And we're connecting the two that matter most right now for these exercises, your heart and your head. Now, if you don't need your hands there to keep the awareness, you can take your hands away, but sometimes it's hard to feel where those locations are if you don't touch them physically. So for about 30 seconds, continue the breathing and the movement of awareness. You can either have your hands touching or not. Now please just be still and take your attention to your heart and focus there. See if you can intensify your intention in the heart to be conscious, to be connected to your higher self. Just focus on the heart only now. These techniques are real. They're physical neurons, neurological cells in the heart. There are actually brain cells in the heart, physically. It's known in science. The heart can think. So knowing that the heart can think, review with me the 4 desires, and let's see if we can pick one that you might want to focus more on over the next few months so you can maybe fulfill it or optimize it. So let's review them with your eyes closed and your focus at the heart. The first of the 4, they're not in order, but the first one we'll discuss or remind ourselves of is Dharma, the sense of purpose. Everyone, according to these teachings, needs a sense of overall, overarching purpose. Dharma. That's one of the 4 desires. The next one we'll discuss, let's go to Artha, A-R-T-H-A, Artha, which is basic needs relating to your health, your finances, your vehicle, your job, your physical basic needs in order to do anything else in life. Then the next one we'll remind ourselves of is Kama, which relates to having fun and play, having fulfilled any romantic interests. It's also the sense of accomplishment. Accomplishing things is also Kama, the sense of joy, fun, spontaneity, play. The last one we'll remind ourselves of is moksha, which means freedom. This means connection to something greater than yourself. It could relate to your spiritual practices, religion, connection to God, the universe, something like that. That's the last of the 4. Now, I'll leave you alone for another 30, 45 seconds. Just breathe and focus on the heart and ask your heart, which one of these needs the most work right now? In just a moment, we're going to open the eyes. I hope you found one, and if you didn't find one, just pick one, just for the sake of this exercise. So not yet. We'll open the eyes. Prepare yourself to draw a circle on your paper, and if you don't have a piece of paper, you don't need to draw a circle. We'll just write the desire. Let's go ahead and do that. Open the eyes, and either with a writing utensil or on your phone, draw a circle and then write the desire that you need to work on inside the circle, or just write it on your phone if you're doing that. Just a simple oval that looks like this. Or just type the name of the desire. So We have to pick one that needs work. One that in your life is maybe lacking. One that you think needs to be worked on. All right, now we'll make a mind map. Mind maps are very simple. And of course, I don't have my own writing utensil. I'm a bad teacher, so I can't show you what it looks like. But from the oval, draw a line from the oval, no matter what side it is. Draw a line, and then write a word on it, and that word can relate to how this desire would show up in your life if it was fulfilled. So I'll use the example of Artha, since we've been talking about that already. Artha relates to basic needs. So if that one is lacking, one of the things you might write on there might be money. And then do another line, and it might be new house. Do another line, and something that means something to you, that if you made it awesome and maximized that category, it would relate to these words. These words would relate to something fulfilled for you in that category. Please ask if that's not clear. I'll say it again for a different one. Let's take moksha. Let's say that your area of connection to something greater is lacking in your life. You desire some kind of connection to spirit, or your meditation practice is lacking. So draw a line. It might be daily meditation. It might be learning techniques to meditate. It might be going to church every Sunday. It might be going to yoga. It might be getting a mala bead, so then write mala. It doesn't matter what it is, just things that would mean something to you, that would make that desire better in your life. Do like 10 if you can, 10 words. 8, 7, 15, something. Oh, yes, more than one. Please ask if I can help. Don't be shy. We'll just take 30 seconds. But if there's nothing on your paper, please ask, and I can give you some clues or hints. If you want to see what it looks like, this is an example. I know it's small, but this is what a mind map might look like. There's an oval, and there's a bunch of lines coming out like the rays of a sun. And I'll read you the example from right here in the book. It's Artha again. This person put rest, time, vacation, car, home, choice. Not sure what that means, but it means something to that person. Kids, money, creativity, all relating to Artha. You could even branch out from one item. If home was something that's very powerful, home might have another little branch right off of that, and you might write bigger home, or home with greenery around it, or you can run with one of the thoughts. Anything that you might enjoy to have in your life that would maximize or improve this category of desire. Okay, hopefully you have some things written down there. Now, the next thing is, and of course in the actual workshop when we do this, it'll take an hour or two to do the whole thing properly. I'm condensing it a lot right now. These words that you have written down could paint a picture of a goal to achieve, of one thing that's realistic for you to achieve, and it might be bloody obvious right in front of your face what the goal might be that you would like to commit to. But it's important to commit to something that will help you get better at this area of your life if you choose to. Now, of course, this is optional. You don't have to do that, but that's part of what makes this work really good, because you can make changes based on these techniques. So do these words point to something that you could do or achieve that's measurable, that you could do realistically in the next 6 months to 8 months? If so, write down an idea of it, because this could be your sankalpa. This can be what we seed our subconscious with in Yoga Nidra for 40 days. Every single day for 40 days. So make it good. These techniques are almost like magic. They work. If you need an example, I will certainly give you several examples. I'll read a couple of examples. And these are just some that were anonymous from different classes that I've been a part of. One example would be, I feel so confident and fulfilled. My business is thriving. We have plenty of time and money to relax and enjoy life. I now love what I'm doing in all of my life. That's a sankalpa, which means, so that relates to Artha. This person was with Artha. Business is thriving financially and spiritually. So that would be the measurable aspect. Another example would be, I am healthy. I have financial abundance. I have completed my yoga certification. Okay, that's extremely specific, and then that's measurable. Something that you can say, okay, I did that. I achieved my sankalpa. And this person would treat this like a mantra. We treat these like mantras. When you're meditating or yoga nidra-ing, you repeat it to yourself in that state of super consciousness. So these are ideas of sankalpas that you can write based on the words you wrote. So are we okay on that? Does that make sense? A lot? A little? Hopefully? Okay. All right, so hopefully you have something. Because we'll use it today when we do yoga nidra, so make sure. Do we need more time, or do we all have something? Yeah? Okay, cool. Okay, good. Awesome. So that's that. And then in the actual workshop, we have the opportunity to talk about each one and see if we can refine it so it's more specific. There are some guidelines that we want to have, guidelines in terms of how it's worded, in terms of verbiage and language, how specific is it, things like that. But we're not going to do all that today because it would take too long. I'm wondering if we should, I don't think we need to take a break because it's only 90 minutes. If anyone has to pee, you can just go pee if you need to, I think. You guys are all adults. You can do that. You don't need to take a, or I can pour you juice and give you some crackers and we can have a little snack break. I might want that because I didn't have lunch. All right. The next exercise, so I wanted to do 2 exercises, this one and then another one that's practical as heck. Because I don't ever want to teach something that's just vague and nebulous and okay, cool, it's an idea, now go fight, win. I always want the things we do to be usable today. And the next thing, so I'd like us to do a departure point exercise. That's one of the big 4 that I mentioned. The departure point is something that, again, Rod Stryker didn't make it up, but he synthesized it. He incorporated that into this teaching because it helps you gain momentum with change. Sometimes change is extremely hard. Usually it is, especially if it's a big change. But if you get what I call the wheel of momentum turning with little changes, it's easier to make big ones if you want to. Now again, I'm not saying you have to change a bunch of stuff in your life, but that's what this workshop is about. It's about, in January, a lot of us feel compelled to maybe make resolutions. Maybe we're disappointed in last year, we didn't succeed with maybe not, but if that's you, if you want to do something different, these are beautiful techniques. So to get the wheel of momentum of change moving, let's find a little change we can make. And this technique of departure point is just that. All right, there's a visual, and of course there's a visual in the book, but I didn't turn to the right page, and I don't want to spend time finding it right now, but the visual it depicts a line, which is your trajectory in life. You move from point A to point Z in life. Now, a lot of times we fall to the areas of least resistance, like how water always runs down to the lowest point and then flows from there. I'm going to say, unfortunately, I'm just going to say that. Unfortunately, most humans do that too. We sort of devolve into what's easiest. I don't really know. I've always wondered, why is that? Like, why don't we do the things that are more effective, like more fulfilling? Because they're harder usually. We want to go for the donut, not the cucumber kind of thing. I don't know. It was a terrible analogy, but it tastes better in the donut than a cucumber, but a cucumber's healthier. It's terrible. You'd rather chew how about jicama? Flavorless. Okay, I'm generalizing. We're more enlightened here than most people who would choose the donut. I guess I'm thinking, I watched The Simpsons recently. Homer Simpson loves donuts, so that's So what I'm saying is we don't always do the hard thing that has the bigger benefit. We do the easier thing that feels better, which has little benefit or a negative benefit to us. So this trajectory that we're on, many times in life, we find ourselves devolved a little bit. Not always, but sometimes we find ourselves in habits and patterns that aren't the best. So imagine the line, and then at some point, you can choose to make a change and go a different direction. You can choose to go there or left or right, but we don't always make the choice because it's usually hard. Let's make a small change. Let's do that. Let's change our trajectory a little bit. Let's pick something in our life that's not anything monumental, something simple. Like always having to have a piece of chocolate after a meal, or always having to do one last, watch one more episode of Stranger Things instead of going to bed half an hour earlier because the new season came out and you want to binge the whole thing. Something like that. Like I have a routine where during COVID, I developed this craving for potato chips. I never liked potato chips ever in my life. But during COVID, for some reason, I'm like loving fried potato chips. Jason likes fried chicken, I know that. And that could be one thing. If you want to cut out food, I'm using food examples, but it can be anything. It can be anything you do that you might want to make a small change around or about. Substances, things that are less tangible are harder to use for this. It's usually best to do tangible things. If you tend to leave dishes out and you'd rather not, you can make the commitment to not leave dishes undone for a number of hours or right away. You choose what it is. And then I'll explain the process of how this departure point thing actually works, but we need to identify something that we'd be willing to work on. All right, so just 30 seconds, think about something and then write something down that you'd be willing to try to change. Not checking your phone every 30 seconds, maybe. 1 day without Instagram a week, maybe. Good, Rhonda has it. I know you're good at that, Rhonda, because you've done these kinds of workshops before in different contexts. Now, the process is actually really cool for this. It involves your Sankalpa that you created. When you go out into your life and you live your day, like after you leave here, it might even come up this afternoon when you leave. I'm not sure what you put, but for mine, like, if I were to do that potato chip thing, usually it's like at night before bed I'm eating them. I'm like, what am I doing? That's not good before bed. So when you find yourself moving towards the thing that you want to change, it's actually simple. So the process goes like this. Before you do it, the way you've been doing it, that line of trajectory that you've been on, before you continue on that line, just pause for a second, physically stop for a second, whether it's reaching for food or reaching for your phone or whatever the thing is, just stop for a second. Physically stop and close your eyes and take a few breaths. Give yourself literally 1 minute. Stop, close your eyes, take a few slow breaths, and repeat your Sankalpa to yourself. It's as simple as that. Before doing the thing. Okay, literally 60 seconds, and then open your eyes and either do it or don't do it. I'm serious. This is the thing. Either do it or don't do it. But at least you're going to do it with more mindfulness, reminding yourself of your goal that you want to achieve. Usually what happens is you don't want to do it as much, but give yourself the grace to frickin' do the thing. You don't have to force yourself to stop cold turkey. Like I was saying, this is a small thing to change, and give yourself grace to not even change it right away or ever. But it gives you the awareness, that big, heavy stone wheel of momentum of change. You're nudging it down the hill slowly. It's rocky, it's tough. And then maybe you'll make that change. Maybe that's easy. I'm going to choose a bigger thing for my departure point. And point of departure from your normal trajectory is what we're talking about. Give yourself the gap, and then see that gap with your Sankalpa also. The actual technique that we're asked to do in the workshop itself is use our Dharma code for that gap. Remember the instructions I was talking about of your soul? That's one of the other big touch points we'll come out of the workshop with. We're supposed to actually be using that in the gap that you stop for 60 seconds, but you can also use your Sankalpa, both. So I would encourage you to try this when you leave today, or if it comes up tomorrow, or whenever it is, and keep doing it. Every time you want to go to reach for the potato chips or the fried chicken or whatever, does anyone want to volunteer what their thing is? Or and you certainly don't have to. I'll never force anyone in these workshops to share, but if you want to, you can, and we can just know that we're not alone in this thing.
Barbecue.
What about it? What about barbecue? Is it relating to eating it, or? And so what is it specifically? Not eating it ever, or what is?
Not eating it at night.
At night? Okay. So like after what time? Let's be specific.
After 8 p.m.
Okay. So you have to finish eating barbecue before 8 p.m. All right, so tonight it's 9 p.m. and you have the craving for barbecue. Okay. So this is good though. No, this is the real life stuff. You have would you go to the fridge, or would you go throw a rack of ribs on the grill? Or like, how would you do it?
I just order the deliveries.
Okay, me too. I'll admit it, I do that too all the time. It's terrible. So you'd get your phone and use your thumb, and it would magically appear at your door 20 minutes later. Oh, it's the best, isn't it? It's so good. It's the $60 later, 30 minutes, you got your... But before you do it, this is exactly the thing. Just give yourself that 60 seconds of pause, breathe a few deep times, and then repeat your Sankalpa, and then either order it or don't order it. But the idea is to stop that trajectory for a split second and remind yourself of your soul's intention, and then you're going to either do it with mindfulness or you won't do it. This is just one of literally 30 techniques that we do in the workshop. And you can take this and go do it. I love it. It's so cool. I've changed lots of things in my life based on this little thing called the departure point.
Could you share a little? What did you change?
Oh, I've done many of these, like 20 years. They've related to social media. A Monday, before I got super busy with real estate, my career has been real estate. Back when I did the workshop for my first time in 2014, I was busy then, but not like I was later. I did a Monday without a phone. I took a Monday, and every time I wanted to reach for the phone, I remember the Sankalpa. I've done that. I did it around food one time. I did it for Haagen-Dazs chocolate and peanut butter ice cream that I love so much. Yeah. I've done a lot, and it works. It's really good. Yeah. Okay, we're going to move the body a little bit, so it's 4. We got to be done at 4:30. So for the next half an hour, yoga nidra, this relaxation thing that Jafan came for, it's best if we don't just lie down and do it. Let's move a little bit through the body, and I'll guide. It's very simple. We're not going to do any handstands or anything, but let's move a little bit, breathe a little bit, and then we'll lie down. One thing, though, try to memorize your sankalpa, though, what you wrote down for your goal. And if you don't have one, write something, just pick something that you can use, because in the nidra, there'll be a point where I'll say, repeat your sankalpa 3 times to yourself, and it should be the same exact verbiage, the same exact words that you choose. Sure.
So just one?
Yes, just one for now, yes. Because
Which you were with 4?
4 different goals to achieve? That's so you, though. Kat, you are an overachiever in all areas, and you could do more than one. I've seen people try. Yeah, 2?
Yeah, I'll pick 2 out of 4.
Pick one to repeat, though, today in your yoga nidra.
One word or one goal?
One goal. And it can be like 1 sentence or 2 sentences or 3 sentences, but the shorter the better. I sold my business by June 1st of 2026. That's a great, I sold my, like that. Mine last year was, my first online course is selling well. And I did not achieve it. I have to redo it because I recorded it, but I didn't ever get it posted anywhere. But my first online course is selling well. So sometimes, that's you too? We should be Dharma buddies and support each other in getting our online courses up and running. Yeah. So please memorize something. All right, now if you guys, girls at home, want to join us, please do. I'm going to move the camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I guess you can see that probably. All right. Okay. So we have half an hour left. We'll do some movements for about 8 minutes or so, and then we'll lie down for a nice 20-minute yoga nidra. It'll be great. We'll be still. We'll do some bowls. Oops. And then I'll guide you through the process of getting relaxed and calm and maybe transcending the physical. I don't know. You might find samadhi today. Wow, I know, right? Let me play with technology for a second so I can get some music going. I wonder if I can while I have Zoom and cameras and all this stuff. Let's see how good I am at tech. I'm pretty good, I think, maybe. Moon room. Oh, there's music out there. We could just use that music. We're still recording? Okay, yeah, we're good. It might actually work. Okay. Let's first come over to all fours and move the spine a little bit. Please come over to your tabletop position. This won't be anything crazy. Let's just get some blood flow happening. So all fours, and we'll just breathe for cows and cats a little bit here. So let's inhale, lift our chin and chest, and then exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift your chin and chest. Exhale, round the spine. A few more. Inhale, lifts your chin and chest. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine. Do 3 or 4 more like that. And now make circles with the spine. Go in a circular motion, doesn't matter which direction. We call them barrel rolls. Move your spine in a circular fashion. And it's better if you close your eyes, because if everyone's eyes are closed, you can't see anyone, and no one can see you if you're worried about that. But you certainly don't have to close the eyes. You can keep them open. Come back to stillness, and now a few joint exercises. With your left knee first, just take your knee out and just move it in circles. And you can use the breath with it. It doesn't really matter how the inhale happens or the exhale. Just breathe and make circles. Think one direction for 5 or 6 circles. After you do 5 or 6, then go the opposite direction. And then we'll change sides. Take your right knee and do the same thing. Just lift it, make circles. Go 5 or 6 times one way and then 5 or 6 times the other way. After 5 or 6, just bring your knees back down, and then a few more cows and cats. And if you'd like to go faster and move more energy, you certainly can do that. Okay. All right, please sit down onto your heels. Let's move our legs forward and put our feet onto the ground. Oh, I should have a yoga mat. This is slippery, my gosh. All right, let's try this thing with our reverse tabletop. Okay, hands behind you, feet to the ground. Let's lift our hips up, and that'll be our inhale when we do this. And then when we exhale, let's bring our hips back down. Then use your breath. Inhale, lift your hips. Maybe the head can drop back. And when the exhale happens, bring your hips down. These are very simple movements. Breathe in, hips up, maybe head back. Your shoulders are gonna stretch. Then exhale, come down. Maybe slow it down. Take about 4 seconds to do the whole inhale. Hips are up, head back at the top, and then when you exhale, bring it back down. Just 2 more. This time, let's stay up into it for a moment. Stay and breathe here, pressing your hips up and head back if you can. If it's too much, you can come down, but try to stay just for a moment. The Shavasana will be juicier if you work a little bit through the body. Try to stay up for about 3 more breaths. Notice that your tight shoulders might loosen a little bit as you breathe. How about 1 or 2 more breaths? See if you can press the hips up. All right, good, come down. And then right away, take your knees to the right and gaze to the left, and just stay there for a moment and breathe, twisting the spine, and stay still, just breathe. Ask yourself if the breath is smooth and deep, and if it's not, try to adjust something so you can breathe smoother and deeper. And then change sides, please. Take your knees to the other side, gaze over your right shoulder. And just breathe a few times. Come back to the middle, neutral. Take your left leg straight, right knee bends, and then twist to the right. With your left arm, just cradle the right knee in. And as you're twisting, lift your spine. You can use your right hand like as a kickstand, kind of. All right, the movements are very subtle, but I'd like you to inhale and get tall. On your exhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. Then when you inhale, back off a little from the twist. When you exhale again, just twist a little bit more. So in other words, just go back and forth subtly. It's not anything huge movement, it's small movements. But try to keep the chest up and shoulders down. Use the breath intentionally, all the while keep the spine really tall. Stay in the twist now and use your both arms, and twist more. Like see if you can accentuate the twist with your arms. And then we'll come out. Let's do the second side. Okay, left foot stamps to the ground, right arm cradles. If you want a deeper version, of course you can do a deeper twist if you want, but we don't need to go so deep. Just cradle the knee, inhale, find a lot of height through the spine. On your exhale, twist from behind the heart more so than your neck too. And then move in and out of it a few times. The inhale backs you out a little bit from the twist, and then on your exhale, go more. When you have a flow of energy moving through the body, you're more conscious. and you can see clearly better. You can see and feel things better. That's why we breathe a lot. That's why you focus on the energy of it. All right, now stay in the twist, and you can use some muscle if you want to, and just stay there for a few breaths and twist. Make it more about your spine than your neck. Good. Come out of the twist now. And then some neutral motions with the spine. We did cows and cats on our all fours. Let's do them seated. Bring your feet together if it's comfortable for you. Grab the feet like it's cobbler's pose. Inhale, find some lift. Exhale, round. Same thing, but we're not on all fours anymore. Same thing as the cows and cats. Inhale, find a gentle back bend. Exhale, find a rounding sensation. As you're doing these movements, this is the last physical thing we'll do before we lie down, by the way. As you're doing this one, try to remember earlier how we connected our head and heart. Try to feel that again. Feel that your heart has consciousness, your head has consciousness, and when you breathe, maybe you can move up to the head when you inhale, down to the heart when you exhale, and you're curling. You're adding the Kriya with the movements now. Just a few more. I think that's good. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and make our way onto our backs. Go ahead and set up yourself, your little space. Set up your little cocoon. Feel free to grab some more. Oh, I'd like us to do a twist on our back though. Before you get too comfortable, let's take a very subtle twist on our back. Lie down. Sorry for putting my crotch in the camera. I realized that's all that was on the camera, just right here. I'm sorry about that. On our backs, before you get too comfortable, take your right knee up and towards the left. I gotta turn these lights off, don't I? Very simple. It's good to do a twist after other movements before relaxation. If your knee is floating in the air, if it's uncomfortable, you can put it on a block or on something. Just stay for a moment. Get comfy. Stay and soften things. Let's try to rest it on there. Just really rest it down and see if that shoulder can just go soft. Ooh, it wasn't soft. If I came over and touched your right shoulder, if it goes down a lot and relaxes, you're flexing it, right? Try not to, just soften everything here. Just a few more breaths on this side. Matter of fact, stay for a few more. It's nice. I think it's nice. And when you really allow yourself to soften, the spine does great things. It really does. It'll allow your flow of energy to be more flowy and more energetic, more conscious even. A few more. Okay, let's change sides. Bring your right knee up and straighten the right leg and bring the left knee in. Take the left knee across towards the right side. Try to go soft. There's no need to flex or tense anything. Maybe you can slow the breath down. Good. The block is under the knee still. Do you want the block or no? Maybe not. No? Let's see here. Do about 4 more breaths. Last couple breaths. Okay, very good. Return to neutral. If you'd like to squeeze your knees in for a moment, please do that. Or something neutralizing, and then make yourself flat and comfy onto the mat, or whatever surface it is that you're laying down on. Okay, for yoga nidra, the ideal body position is neutral, with your arms and legs straight by your sides, palms preferably up if you can do that comfortably without anything touching your fingertips, if that's okay to do. Supporting your neck or knees with any bolsters or blocks that you need. Let's take a deep inhale through our noses, please. Breathe in, then as you exhale, open the mouth and just soften everything. Good. Allow yourself to feel heavy into the surface on which you are laying. Feel heavy. Don't worry about supporting yourself with muscles. Just let the ground do it for you. When we practice Yoga Nidra, we usually move from physical things to less physical things. So physical would be your physical body. So we would usually want to address that first. So place your attention into the soles of your feet and make sure they're relaxed, and then move your attention just up your legs and relax more. If there's any tension hiding in the legs, when you get to the hips you might find some. Then move your attention up into the torso, relaxing what is less than relaxed. Move your attention up towards your neck and throat and face and head. Then don't forget the arms also. And once you get to the top of your body, your head, go back down. Scan, make sure there's no flexing or tensing, and you're soft and relaxed. Please recall the specific exact words of your sankalpa and repeat it to yourself 3 times just to refresh your memory of it. The exact verbiage, the same way, 3 times. Okay, getting less physical now. Rotation of consciousness through the body will use 61 points of light. And it's very simple. Just listen to the point of the body that I'm mentioning and see a small star light at that point, and then we move on to the next. Very simple. Start at the point between your eyebrows, please, and just notice that there is a small point of silver etheric light. And then see that same point at your throat. And wherever the light is, there's relaxation. There's also the breath. You're not actively breathing, your body is naturally breathing. And then move your attention to the right shoulder joint. See the point of light there. Go down to your right elbow, point of light. Your right wrist. See the point of light at your right thumb tip. Just relax. There's nothing active that you need to do. The index fingertip, see a point of light. Then the middle fingertip. Ring fingertip of your right hand. Just relax. Nothing to do. Just relax. Little fingertip, point of light. Back to your right wrist. Your right elbow, right shoulder joint, and then again at your throat center. Point of light goes to your left shoulder joint, left elbow, left wrist, tip of your left thumb, tip of your index finger, point of light, middle fingertip, ring fingertip, little fingertip, back to your left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder joint, and throat center. Now it moves down to your heart, point of light right in the middle of your chest, the right side of your chest, point of light, back to your heart, left side of your chest, and your heart. It moves down to your navel center, your belly button. Point of light at the top of your sacrum, where your second chakra is. See that same point of light at your right hip joint. Point of light at your right knee. Just relax. Right ankle. The tip of the big toe of your right foot, point of light. Second toe of your right foot. Third toe. Fourth toe. Little toe of the right foot. Back to your right ankle, point of light. When the mind wanders, it's okay, just bring it back to the point of light. Right knee. Right hip joint. Back to your sacrum. Left hip joint. See a point of bluish etheric light. And now at your left knee. Your left ankle. Big toe of the left foot. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. Little toe of your left foot. Left ankle. Left knee. Left hip joint. Top of the sacrum. Navel center. Heart center. Deep inside the heart, point of light. And now see all 61 points of light throughout the body that we just identified, all 61, as if it's a constellation of stars in the night sky. And when your body naturally breathes, it's like a breeze, like an elegant breeze moving through the constellation of stars in the night sky. The body's natural breath is a breeze moving through the night sky of the body. All 61 points. Repeat your sankalpa to yourself 3 more times with the exact same verbiage as before. Looking up at the night sky, you still see all 61 points of light like a beautiful constellation in the sky. The 61 points of light fade into the background, and the sky becomes alive with color. The entire sky, it develops a gold color. You're staring up at the sky, and it's now gold. The sky is now purple. The sky is orange. It becomes like a screen, like a movie screen that you're seeing. It becomes green. You see a complete green sky on top of you. Yellow sky. The color blue. Back to the color orange. The color red. You see the color red in the sky. The color green. The color blue. The color purple. And then pure gold. The sky is pure gold above you. I'm going to name a series of images. Focus on the image just for 1 or 2 seconds, and then there will be another image, and let the first image go. It'll be a rapid succession that we focus on and then move on to the next. Picture ocean waves. Picture sand dunes. See a green jungle. See a cross above a church. See a smiling Buddha. See white clouds moving across a sunset. See torrential rainfall. See distant ship smoke on the horizon. See snow-capped peaks. See an endless desert. See rolling green hills. See a cross above a church. See a smiling Buddha. See a monk praying. See ocean waves. See snow-capped peaks. See torrential rainfall. See a green jungle. See cows grazing in a field. And then see the color gold. Just see the color gold. See the color rose. Rose color. See the color gold. See the color rose. And now see the vast, endless blue sky above. Vast, endless sky above. Repeat your sankalpa to yourself again 3 times. Place your attention into your heart center and allow your heart to speak your sankalpa to you as if it's saying it right to you. Same words, but the heart is saying it to you. Be still. Just be still. Let's return to our breath, please, slowly. When you do start moving the body, go really soft with it. Just maybe your tongue inside the mouth moves, or maybe your eyes underneath your eyelids move. There's no need to go fast. There's no need to pop back up. But we will start to slowly come back out into the physical world. And go slow. In the next 8 or so breaths, we'll return to a seat. But that's a long time. Like each breath is really slow. No need to rush. Just take your time. When you're ready, we'll meet in a seated position. And just take 1 more minute of stillness in your seat. You can close the eyes if you want to. You can prayer the hands if that feels good. Absorb the different things we did together, the exercises, the departure point, the sankalpa, the heart and head connection, the nidra. Absorb it. All right, let's take a deep breath together. Deep inhale, and open the mouth. Exhale. All right, come back and you can open the eyes whenever you're ready and we can wrap up our session. It's 4:35. It kept you a few minutes later than 4:30, but I don't think you minded. Thank you guys. Please talk to me if you want any questions answered. I'm thrilled to talk. I can send you this whole recording too that we did if you want to do the practice again on your own. You can even just turn the screen off and do the audio version of the Yoga Nidra if you want to. Because I recorded it, so you can have this for later. I'll email it to you guys if you want. All right. To Susie and Rhonda, thank you for being there. Rhonda, thank you, Rhonda. Un abbraccio forte. How's my pronunciation? Is that all right?
Paulo de
Came
Benedetti.
through the speakers in the room, Rhonda. That was good.
All of the blessings.
Nice. All right, signing off there.